I keep hearing people say they tried to save a few bucks by grabbing a cheap, unbranded food pan carrier from a discount warehouse, only to end up with a unit that rattles, loses heat, and forces them to scramble for a replacement right before service. That regret is real, especially when you're the one holding the line in a busy kitchen and the hot dishes start cooling faster than you can plate them. The question is whether stepping up to a purpose-built cabinet like the Cambro Camcart H series actually feels like a smarter purchase or just another pricey gimmick. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes the Cambro front-load cabinet different from that bargain bin option is the way it's engineered for the kind of day-in-day-out pressure you see in catering trucks, banquet halls, and even large-scale home gatherings. The unit is a single-compartment, heated carrier made from sturdy polyethylene, which means it can take the knocks of a busy service environment without denting or cracking. The dimensions, a little over 26 inches deep, 18 inches wide, and almost 25 inches high, give you enough room for a standard full-size pan while still fitting snugly under most prep tables or in the back of a food truck. That footprint is a hidden trade-off. It's big enough to be useful, but not so massive that you have to rearrange your whole workspace to make room for it. If you're the type of operator who needs to keep hot food at HACCP-compliant temperatures for an hour or more, the Camcart's built-in heating element does exactly that. In practice, I've seen it hold a tray of chili at a safe serving temperature for the full 60-minute window without any noticeable drop. That matters because you can prep ahead, load the pan, and walk away knowing you won't have to reheat or risk a health code violation. For a small catering crew, that translates to fewer staff hours spent monitoring temperature and more time focusing on plating or serving. On the flip side, the unit runs on a standard 120-volt outlet and pulls a decent amount of power. In a cramped kitchen where you're already juggling a handful of appliances, you'll need to make sure you have a dedicated circuit or a reliable power strip. That's not a deal breaker, but it is something you have to plan for ahead of time. Otherwise, you might end up tripping a breaker in the middle of a lunch rush. The heating element is also designed for a single compartment, so if you routinely need to keep two different dishes hot at the same time, you'll have to invest in a second unit or look for a multi-zone model. Who should buy this? If you run a catering business, a school cafeteria, or a community center kitchen where you regularly serve large batches of hot food, the Cambro H series gives you peace of mind with its temperature consistency and durability. It's also a good fit for food truck operators who need a compact yet reliable way to keep soups, stews, or sauces hot while they're on the road. Even serious home entertainers who throw weekend feasts might find the extra temperature control worth the cost, especially if they've been burned by cheaper carriers that let food cool too quickly. Who should skip it? If you only need to move a single pan a short distance and you're not worried about maintaining temperature for more than a few minutes, a simple insulated tote or a basic aluminum carrier will do the job for a fraction of the price. Also, if your kitchen layout is already saturated with appliances and you can't guarantee a dedicated power source, the Camcart could become a logistical headache rather than a solution. Let's talk about the practical strengths that become obvious the moment you plug it in. First, the front-load design means you don't have to lift a heavy pan over the top. You just slide it in from the front. That reduces strain on staff, especially when you're dealing with full-size pans that can weigh 1,520 pounds once they're loaded with food. In a real-world scenario, I watched a team load a tray of baked ziti, and one person was able to do it with a single motion, keeping the pan level and preventing any spillage. Second, the polyethylene shell is easy to wipe down with a mop and a food-safe cleaner, which helps you stay on top of sanitation without spending extra time scrubbing. Finally, the slate blue exterior isn't just a color choice. It hides grease stains better than a stark white finish, meaning the unit looks cleaner throughout the day. No product is perfect, and the Camcart has a few practical weaknesses that show up once you've used it beyond the initial demo. The heating element, while reliable, can take a couple of minutes to reach the target temperature after you first plug it in. If you're in a rush, you'll need to preheat it, which adds a step to your workflow. Also, because it's a single compartment, you can't separate sauces from mains without taking them out and placing them in a different carrier, which can be